You've talked around wanting to tokenize the equity so that somebody might be able to, in their Solana wallet, for instance, move some of that portfolio into forward industries, which conceptually sounds efficient. Where are we today? How do I go around having some of your stock in my portfolio? Why would it be better for it to be tokenized? And then just the triangulation of that whole thinking would also be, why wouldn't I just hold Solana?
Yep. So lots of questions there. Let me try and answer all of them. First and most importantly is like mission here. People have been asking me to do a DAT for Solana for probably upwards of a year now. And I said no a whole bunch of times. And obviously then finally said yes. And the reason I ultimately said yes was because of a speech that SEC Chairman Paul Atkins gave on July 31st. And that speech is titled Project Crypto. I encourage you to read it. You can Google it. It's a 5-minute read, very quick. And in that speech, Chair Atkins was giving a speech to the 4,500 employees who work at the SEC. And in that speech, he told them unequivocally, we are going to move U.S. securities markets on chain. When I read that, I thought to myself, wow, like, I started to think, okay, what is it going to take to fulfill the vision of Project Crypto? And it's obviously going to require coordination from the DTCC and NYSE and NASDAQ and the banks and the brokerages and so on and so forth. And that's just a slow, miserable process. And I started to think, well, if we control a publicly traded company, can we do some stuff to accelerate the vision of Project Crypto? And we concluded the answer to that was yes. And so after that speech is when we really decided to pull the trigger on Forward Industries and make this all happen. So I think that's an important caveat and backdrop. We, a week ago, announced at Forward Industries that we a partnership with a company called Superstate. Superstate is we'll be using Superstate's technology to tokenize our own equity of Ford stock, FORD, and you'll be able to hold it non-custodially on the Solana blockchain. This partnership was announced a week or two ago, and will go live, I think, in the next few weeks here, and fairly soon. Part of that partnership, I think, I'm particularly excited about is as part of the agreement, Forward Industries has secured the right to get some pretty substantial equity in Superstate for no cash consideration, meaning that basically for being Superstate's flagship customer, we're going to be able to earn a little bit of equity in Superstate. We have told investors in the pipe, as well as now kind of public investors, that we want to leverage our brand, our relationships, and our scale to negotiate deals above and beyond what a random other party could do so. And so the Superstate transaction is the first example of that. I expect there will be quite a few more to come in the fairly near future. With once our equity is tokenized, then that's only just step one in the vision to fulfill Project Crypto. The logical kind of follow-on steps for that are to perform all capital markets functions on chain. And so that includes things like fundraising, things like dividends, things like shareholder governance, and other things of that nature. Someone needs to be first to do all of those things and to prove that you can do all of those things. And we very much intend to be first, because we just need, look, if anyone else is going to follow in our footsteps, we just want them to know every single operation has been proven and done already by someone else. And so coming back to kind of the why question and the ethos question, this is why we're doing all of this. Now, I think the last part of your question, Lloyd, was like, well, why would I want to hold, Ford stock in a Phantom wallet or a Soulflare wallet? I think the answer to that is if you are crypto native or if you are crypto only. And look, most people, I don't know the viewership of your podcast, but assuming most of it are US based or maybe European based, they probably have brokerage accounts. So maybe they can hold equities there. But there's probably 500 million, maybe 800 million people in the world today who only own crypto and who do not own any equities. Those people live predominantly in LATAM and in Asia. And for those people, they trade on Binance, they trade on OKX, or they trade just natively in their DeFi wallets. And those people, I think it's actually a very lucrative opportunity for them to be able to hold Ford stock in their native DeFi wallets. And so we're quite excited about the opportunity of using the blockchain and the vision of internet capital markets to actually expand the distribution of our shareholder base for Ford.